So thank you so much once again, Patricia Elias, joining us. And again, it's a possibility and wonderful opportunity for RESO platform to have experts like you. And giving a little introduction of yours is like you're chief of global diplomatic campaign for Every Women Treaty, senior advisor position with the UNWomen. So you're an international lawyer also, senior gender expert and a specialist in governance and rule of law. And you're also affiliated with Harvard University School of Law. So this is certainly a very tremendous and a comprehensive base professional and dexterity. So once again, we are very glad to have you on this platform. So we're going to cover a very important topic today, and we've covered in past also, but this is a much needed topic with further considerations and concerns. The title of this topic is like ending violence against women. So would like to move on to my first question, which is certainly a very important question, is what inspired your deep commitment to the global fight against violence towards women?
17 years old in the faculty of law, and the dean, that was a woman, read us all the discriminatory and girls, and I was so shocked to see that I didn't have the same rights than my brothers, than that. So I was so shocked that I decided that I would be the person that will fight to have equal rights, to have women and girls having the same rights than men and boys. And this is how it started. And also, after looking in the whole world, I saw that it was the problem in the whole world. We don't have any equality between women and men. Even in Europe, for equal job, equal diploma, women have 25% less salary than men. Look what is happening today in Afghanistan. They are even forbidding women to speak to each other. It's gender apartheid, and you don't see any sanction. You don't see any person moving against this. Look at the serial rape as a weapon of war that we have in like Sudan, in countries in war against women.
Once again, I would like to move on to my second question. What are some of the most critical legal gaps that still allow violence against women to persist worldwide?
Well, as I was saying, there is no international treaty that says that violence against women and girls are a human rights violation. So this is why you don't have laws, you don't have implementation of laws, you don't have implementation of the international treaty like CEDAW Convention, internationally saying that violence against women and girls is a violation of human rights. So we need to have it and to have sanctions, because even women don't know their rights, and they think that it's normal to have all this violence against them because they are women. And this is not true, because today women are going to universities where they have diploma, they are working, they are helping with the household, so equal duties, equal rights. Equal duties, equal rights. It's not that she does everything, plus she doesn't have any rights. So this is why we need to work on this, on violence against women and girls, because if there are violence, she cannot step up, if she is beaten, if she is under violence. How can she help the household? How can she help her country? How can she help the GDP to come up if she cannot, So we need to help her, and we can have, this will give the whole country, the whole world a step up, having women and men hand in hand, trying to help in the whole world. I will say something else. Today, you have the war. The world is in war. Why? Because they are men. If you would have women helping, women brings sustainable peace. women think about peace and bring sustainable peace. Those are the studies that say so. So we need to have more women at the table of negotiation. We need to have more women on the political participation. We need to have more women at all levels, 50-50. This is the new recommendation of the CEDAW committee, to have 50% women and men helping each other to process and to step up with their countries.
Very important 50-50 collaboration and participation, and more women in all spheres of life, in all walks of life. Would like to move on to my third question. Very important question says, can you share a success story from your work with the UNWomen on Every Women Treaty that gave you hopes?
I've been with UNWomen for for 4 years. And after I was the chief of global diplomatic campaign of Every Women Treaty. Every Women Treaty was started in 2013. And for 11 years before I joined, they had 1,900 NGOs on 145 countries, and they had 4 countries supporting a treaty against violence against women and girls. And since I joined, in less than 2 years, I succeeded in doubling the numbers of NGOs that were supporting us from 1,900 to 4,100, doubled the numbers on 169 countries. Plus, we had 4 supporting countries. I succeeded to have 14 supporting countries. So after 2 years now, we have 18 countries that are supporting this treaty against violence against women and girls. I think that this is a story of success, and hopefully we will have this international treaty against violence against women and girls.
Important, Everyday Women, your treaty, your role in that, and how you uplifted, inviting and joining many non-government organization setups in order to accomplish the mission in a more comprehensive and more professional way. Would like to move on to my fourth question. Important question is, how can grassroots movements and international law work together to protect women in conflict zones?
This is a huge need. You know what's happening now, for example, like I said, in Afghanistan, this gender apartheid of women, forbidding women even to speak to each other, forbidding them to go to school, forbidding them to see doctors, forbidding them to be doctors. It means that if a woman or a girl is sick, she can die because she cannot see a doctor or have a woman doctor coming. So what this would need a huge grassroots movements in the whole world to ask for sanction for this kind of violence against women, and to set up that this is gender apartheid, and have an international law sanctioning this, and this will forbid other countries to do the same. Plus, as you say, in zone of conflict zone, you have the serial rape of women as a weapon of war. All of this has to be put in one international treaty and sanctioning the countries that are doing those things to women, this violence against women and girls.
Responding to this important question, we would like to move on to my fifth question, which is also a final wrap-up question. Says, actionable steps can governments and communities take today to accelerate the end of violence against women?
Need a general movement, and as I am in the G100 now, I am the chair of global ministerial advocacy, government and ministerial advocacy. I was suggesting to have a global movement of grassroots, and to go and seek at the UN, the head of the UN, and after global leaders in the whole world, asking them to condemn violence against women and girls, and to work against violence against women and girls in the whole world, accepting and working on an international treaty against violence against women and girls. So this would be an actionable step that we can do with all governments and communities today, to have an action plan against violence against women and girls.
Okay. So thank you so much, ma'am. You've responded very well. Like ending violence against women and how inspired and what inspired you, global fight, violence against women and critical legal gaps you talked about, and UN Every Women Treaty and how you helped in your grassroots levels and conflict zones and actionables. You talked about communities and we've already briefed of your introduction. Like you're part of UN and Chief Global Diplomatic Campaign for Every Women Treaty Senior Advisor position with the UN Women Senior Gender Expert, a specialist in governance and rule of law, and Harvard affiliation. Also, as you're already familiar, that RESO is a platform where we actually try to step through the noise to cause you most relevant and reliable sociological narratives and interpretations touching different domains and expertise. And that's the reason you're on board with us, and that is the reason we keep conducting national and international interviews in order to build up academic and research database in order to make a better society. That's the overall call for this platform. And thank you so much once again, ma'am, joining me.
Thank you so much. Thank you.